The guy to my right, guess what he did last year, ladies and gentlemen? He won the state championship. His team did. And welcomed once again Bill Marshall, the head coach of the Vikings. Matt Hofer. Hey, did you see Matt? Matt's on the cover there. See him there in the back row in that green jersey? There you go. Matt Hofer, member of the Primetime 25. Glad to have Matt. Justin Clark's here with us too. Glad to have these guys. You got your quarterback and your best offensive lineman hanging out with us. Okay, so we will be talking a lot this year, as you well know. You and I have had some discussion already. It's going to be a fun time had by all as we kind of unfold. So the obvious question that I'm not going to ask you today, how many times have you watched the state championship game? And we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about any of that kind of stuff because, as you can tell, the guys don't want to talk about that stuff. But I want to say something. It's the first time in my broadcast career that a Duneland Conference team is going to try to defend its state championship.
I like how you put that.
Defend its state championship.
Yep.
Now, I can say that because the Hooper Brickies, I should have qualified my rights. It's the first time since the Hooper Brickies had a chance to defend. And I'll throw this one out because I know Frank would tell me this. Frank Hilpikowski would tell me this as well. You know, Paul, no Duneland Conference team has ever won back-to-back state championships. That's what's the next thing he would remind me. But we'll talk about that on Friday. So how was camp? Was expectations different? Was the attitudes different? Just kind of give us the landscape of how you thought camp was.
Yeah, I think it started with our off season in January. We hired in a new strength coach. We've been able to work with him, Coach Pick, who has a lot of history with a lot of teams. For instance, University of Oregon, Townsend University, Midwestern State out in Texas. So being able to get him or somebody of his caliber in really amplified our workouts. He came in towards the end of May, so it was pretty much my staff and I still doing it at that point. So the energy was there. But even before that, as we sat down in December with our captains, and Tyler Verscher and Travis Davis are our captains as well, but being able to go ahead and talk about, like, what do we want to have happen this season? And everybody's going to say, well, we want to win, obviously, but we do that by really putting it out there, like, what is our motto going to be? And there's two of them. There's no opportunity wasted, so now. And prior to that, it's stay hungry. And so when they brought that to the table, literally and figuratively, I was excited as their head coach because I knew that the shininess, if you will, of the state championship had worn off, and they were ready to come back and really get back after it.
I'm going to take you back a year ago and get into that postseason run. You beat Maryville, you beat number 1 Snyder, and you beat Whiteland. So 3 quality opponents back to back to back. So you asked your kids to perform not only on a road, the Snyder game on the road, and Justin just made some really great plays. Everybody made great plays. I'm not just singling him out because it's such a team concept with this group. But it just seemed to find a level to play at its maximum best once the postseason came around. Now, my question would be, is that because the Duneland Conference, that opener where you got your clock cleaned by Penn in the opener, were all those kind of experiences made the state championship run really made it special for you?
Yeah, everybody who asks, you win a regional, a semi-state, and a state championship by a combined of 6 points. And it's definitely the games before that left their mark, that
Sure.
made us have the ability as coaches to turn up the intensity on the players and know that they were willing and able to go ahead and accept it, to be challenged, to challenge one another, and at the same time not allow it to splinter or fester. Feelings don't get hurt when you all have the same goal and the same mentality, and that's been our approach thus far this year too. We're going to coach hard. We're going to challenge them on every turn, and in doing so, it kind of builds a closeness and a tightness not only amongst the players and the staff, but amongst the players themselves, because they can rally around each other, and they've been doing a great job of doing that.
A little-known factoid that Mike Knezovich shared with me, the state championship broadcast downloads off our website that I called the radio call on WEFM. 1,600 downloads, which broke the record for anything that we've done in the last half a dozen years. So did you guys get a chance to go back and listen to the audio call? I know, Bill, you and I shared that. I hope you would have got caught up in some of the excitement that the old guy gets into, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I think you still got a couple plays left in the ice.
I think you do. Let's hope so.
Okay.
Well, boys, did you get a chance to listen to the radio call? Did you guys go back and listen?
I have not.
Oh, I did. I watched it with my grandparents on Christmas. We watched them, then we watched church, so just experiencing that was amazing.
All right, so Matt, we're going to start with you down there. Matt, of course, is on the cover of the Indiana Football Digest. He had a chance to experience the Gritties up close and personal as being a member of that elite group. That was a neat experience,
absolutely.
wasn't it?
Absolutely. That was an amazing day.
Give us an idea what was special about it for you.
It was just seeing so many talented players from around the state, guys that are competitors on some fields, or guys you see throughout camp, or just like where they're going, and you're excited because you'll play against some at the next level. Some come on Friday night, or some you never know when, but just the amount of respect we had for each other and so much great talent in one room was just amazing to see.
And I know you're not going to be matched up against one on Friday, but you're going to be on the same field as another member. Auden Jones, who plays at Penn High School, is going to play. We'll get a chance to see him play. I know that you guys are on opposite sides of things because he's going to play center, and you're obviously on the Viking offensive line. But can you speak to what the shellacking that you got from the Kingsmen last year, how that kind of motivated you to get better?
It motivated us from the second we got on the bus ride home. We knew we didn't want this season to be that way. We knew we had potential to be a great team. We brought it the next day of practice, and when we won state, we were like, that's our next goal is beat Penn. We knew it's going to be our senior night. It's going to be the night that like starts our senior season, and we just wanted to have that chip. And it's honestly a blessing to have a chip that big on your shoulder walking into week one after such a big championship.
I think that's a great point. You were fortunate because your dad was as the assistant AD, was a great football coach in his own right. Your brother playing Division I. So this is something that's for you, Matt. This has been in the making, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's been something I've been watching since I was a little kid, watching the game. I remember my dad's last football game against Fishers in semi-state. I remember my brother's first game against Penn. I was listening to it on the radio on the way to a Boy Scout trip. So it's a family tie, and it's just completing the job that they've given me such a great path to do.
Okay, how is that offensive line going to be?
We're excited. We have a lot of returners. We have guys who are smart, strong, physical. Our goal is just to keep our quarterback clean, our running back clean, and control the game with the size and strength that we have.
All right, Justin Clark, give us an idea on what you did during the offseason to get better.
I gained a lot of weight. I was working with a strength and conditioning coach and with the high school strength and conditioning coach. A lot of work with Coach Marshall during the winter because I didn't play basketball, so working on throwing, sitting, and we watched film during the school year. Just a lot of technical and gaining weight-wise things.
When you've got the big weapons up front and you got some guys in the backfield, and let's give those guys a lot of credit. They can make plays.
Oh, absolutely.
When you have those things, when you have so many talented, offensively, this is going to be, and I'm not going to put the whammy on you, but this is offensively has the potential to be one of the best offensive teams in the state with so many weapons if everybody stays healthy. And I need to put that caveat out there as well. But give us an idea on when you have so many weapons, does that take some of the pressure off you, Justin?
It definitely takes a lot of the pressure. With Travis and Thomas Berto back there, they can really run the rock. And with Scotty and Julian as my outside guys, they can make plays always. So it's definitely puts a lot of pressure off of me knowing that I just have to get the ball to them. And especially with my O-line coming back, oh my gosh.
Got to be really good.
Yep.
Bill, offense ahead of the defense right now?
I'll tell you what, it has been for preseason and July camp, it has been pretty equal. The one thing we just have to, as I told the guys on the way over, we got to get consistent play out of a couple of guys. The weather was an issue today, as it would be for most teams, but just that consistency from certain players and sometimes, the ability to go ahead and challenge them even more, even when they are succeeding and they are excelling, to challenge them to get to that next level. I told them from Monday, today, I said we're going to focus in on all those small things that can come back and haunt a team in a game that's very evenly matched between Penn and us. And so those are the things that we've been really hitting on, and we're going to nail on the rest of the week.
Matt, I'm going to give some props to Coach, but I want you to respond to it. Coach Marshall has the second best winning percentage of any active head football coach in the state of Indiana. He's won 82% of the games since he has been the head coach.
Yeah.
The only coach that's got a higher mark than that's Kyle Ralph at New Palestine.
Okay.
Give us an idea on why he has done what he has done from the player's perspective.
I think it's just a lot more of just what's on the field. The turf field is a turf field. It's nothing special. It's where we play football, but what he does outside. Personally, he's been a big factor in my life, helped me find a new church that I could grow in, helped me as a player. He's helped all of our grade, helped everybody, like if they're in grade issue or if they have a family trouble, he's always there for us. He's like a father on the field, and then make sure we're doing okay off the field. And we just know with him, it's football second, our life first, especially when it comes after high school, making sure we're succeeding 40 years from now and not just what happens come November.
Okay, Justin, what's your thoughts on why Coach Marshall's put such an amazing start to his career?
Because he's not just a special coach, he's a special person. And he's always there for me and for every teammate. You watch him, he's the first guy there, first guy to text you when you know something's wrong. And then he knows when to get on you and when to not at practice. And he's just like always there for coaching and supporting at practice, and that's been a big part for me.
Tyler Verscher has had a special year last year defensively. Guy's a ball hawk, make no mistake about it. When you guys have got to match up against your defense in practice, Justin, I want you to tell me about who are some problems that teams are going to have to deal with besides Tyler.
Ty Veen is a problem. Tanner Young is a problem. Basically, our whole secondary. I'm just gonna hype them up, but all of our defense, they know what they're supposed to do on every play, and then we got Coach Bernardi behind them. They're all amazing. So,
Matt, your thoughts on the guys up front defensively? You've got to block them in practice. Who's playing well on the defense?
Honestly, it's all of our defensive line. We rotate every practice, so I'll go against every guy in practice, and there's no downgrade from the first guy to the fourth guy. And then our linebackers just fill holes so fast. It kicks my butt some days.
Frustrating.
But it frustrates me a lot, but it makes me excited because I know they're going to be doing that to other guys on Fridays.
Bill, are you tempted to throw him over there on the defense if need be?
We were actually just talking about that too. He came over last year and played a little D-line, and I had to demote him and send him back to the offense. But
I thought I did great.
Yeah.
My practice plays were amazing.
But the eye in the sky never lies.
That's right.
But he's done great things for us on the offensive side. I think that's where his bread's going to be buttered, especially at the next level too.
So we're not going to see him play defense?
Probably not. Not unless we start getting down into the trenches and we have to stop some things in the middle. So
you concerned about the depth at this time of the year? Where are you guys at with that?
I think we're in a really good spot in terms of our overall depth. We have a lot of young talent. Gage Finley is another great kid. Ben Fedorchuk are two sophomores that are probably going to have an opportunity to make a real impact on our defense and our offense, respectively. And so just being able to have that maturation for them while watching some of the guys that are already ahead of them, it's really exciting, too, because they get to see and be on the field and play with those guys that we have with us here and our other captains and some of those senior leaders.
Guys, I'll see you Friday.
Looking forward to it.
And the next Friday. And the next Friday. And the next seven.
Right?
So we're looking forward to hanging out with y'all. We've got a great support group from the Valparaiso community, which is going to allow us to hang out with y'all. So I want to give kudos to the Valparaiso community for sponsoring our broadcasts. And Bill, looking forward to spending Friday nights with you guys.
Yeah, same here. Thanks so much for everything that you guys do and getting the word out about not just only the Doolin Athletic Conference, but high school football across the state.
And give my best to that old Hobart guy who's coaching on that offensive line, my main man, Eric Kennedy.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to take a timeout, come back, and we're going to talk Slicer football. We got the LaPorte Slicers that are coming up next. We will be back in 2 minutes live from Cuban Networks right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Podcast is brought to you by the Regional Radio Sports Network.